I resisted the show that we're about to do because I am so sick of talking about breaches and I don't care about
Riot
gaming.
Games.
It's about Riot Games. John, why did we talk about this again?
Because I love them and they love
me. He's addicted to League of Legends. Yeah,
that's true.
But it's an interesting episode because we go into why exactly Riot Games are so terrible and how they have no excuse. And we also talk about the 5 stages of breach. So hang out for that. Also, Mike's impassioned plea to please like and subscribe because, whatever. Stay to the end. Hear it. It's genuinely heart-rending.
Okay, we'll take it.
That's so good.
John, you're the one who wanted to talk about this, so you're the one who's making us talk about this.
I want to talk about it, one, because this is like my 2 major passions have collided in a disappointing way. I will add that. But
should we guess Riot before Games, we tell what the story is? John's 2 major passions colliding.
Yeah.
Peter, care to take a whack at it?
Crypto and
no.
Good job, Peter.
Yeah,
crypto is not a major passion. Crypto is just an interest.
Okay, all right. A passing major.
What about like hiding? Like I'm thinking of like either doxing people or not getting doxed. Is that a passion?
I don't dox people. Doxing means I release the information I find. No.
Okay. All right. At any rate.
So go on then. Tell us.
Anyway, 2 major passions. This is my favorite video game and cybersecurity. So, Riot Games, the creator of League of Legends, they were compromised. And Riot Games is arguably the biggest video game company on the planet. I think that they might have the most concurrent players, or at least did at one point, on one single game, that being the one I mentioned, League of Legends. So they tweeted out like a week or so, no, I guess this would be now, like almost 2 weeks ago, they tweeted out that they've been hacked. And they were hacked through a social engineering attack where most likely credentials were handed over. And then they followed up a few days later. They said that they were compromised. And they went into some more details. So I think if you go to that most recent tweet, Mike, I think you have it up. So they basically broke down what happened. And my first, so what did happen is their development environment, which has source code in it, was compromised and data was stolen. So then they go on,
including the source code for the game.
Yeah.
Yes. And they go on to say that nothing is indicating that player data, like PII and whatever, was stolen. Love that sentence.
Which stage of breach
I think
is that?
2. Like we're at stage 2 right now.
Yeah.
So, and that most likely what they'll see is some new cheats pop up. And then they were like, there is everyone in the League community, in the League of Legends community, wants more game modes because they don't have a lot. And this is a 12-year-old game. They did come out with some game modes in the past, but it's been many years. So everyone's been asking for a new game mode, and they
for people who don't know, what's a game mode?
So it's
obviously I know
it's a different.
Imagine
type
that we
of,
don't play League of Legends.
Sure,
and aren't obsessed with it.
So you have the main game that everyone plays, and then you play with characters on a specific map. And what people want is to be able to use those characters on a different map with a different objective. Something like, let's say, like capture the flag or hold the point or something like that. So that's
there's only one map that everybody plays on all the time.
Pretty much. There's 2, but like there's only one competitive map.
What's that style of game called where you try and
MOBA?
MOBA. What does MOBA stand for?
I forget. Multiplayer online battle arena, maybe.
Multiplayer online battle arena. Got it in one.
So it's a 5v5 5 people, real people versus 5 people. This game was spawned off of real-time strategy games, like this is where it came from, like Warcraft 3 or StarCraft 2. So it has a lot of history. And again, it's a very old game, like 12 years, 13 years old. And there's no game mode. So they, in that tweet, what I'm getting to is that they were like, there's a lot of game modes that were in development in this code that will probably not see the light of day, you guys. So like, don't get excited when inevitably this data becomes public. So
don't get your hopes up.
What's really interesting is that they said, they were like, we received an email for a ransom and we're not going to pay. Like they made it sound like they're like being heroes.
Naturally,
and it's like,
we didn't pay.
Like,
yeah.
And I guess they wanted 10 billion. And then the source
10
code
billion?
Now million.
Oh, million.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a successful game.
Now the source code's popped up online in a like data breach marketplace for 1 million. Not sure if it's been purchased yet. The return on investment is real. People will pay a lot of money for cheats. So
yeah, but it's cheats, I suppose. But I was thinking, like, who's that going to be useful to? Like, you know, Epic Games can't buy it. It's
no, only cheap like makers will be able to really use this, or other attackers that might see a different avenue to exfiltrate more data from Riot. So
another company
for sure.
Another company got breached because of poor internal security.
So my question is, you are the single largest video game company on the planet. You are pulling in billions a year. Mm-hmm. How is it that you are not able to verify who's authenticating to your critical infrastructure?
I can tell you the answer to this.
Tell me, please.
Because security is hard. Because it's difficult. Because getting people to use MFA is hard.
We have been given even, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll take it 1 point further. This person who shouldn't have had dev access or prod access, obviously, handed over their credentials. They take it a step further and they're being socially engineered. So they hand over their 2FA token. Okay. So 2 levels now. How is it possible that the attacker's device is allowed to auth to these servers? That's the question. How are you doing no device attestation or verification? That's crazy.
I think the real answer to how is because these are systems that evolved over time. This company, you know, software companies are notorious for this. You start as a software company as a single programmer, just thinking, oh, hey, let me do a UI that does this. And then you think, oh, this could be useful for other people. So let me do some multi-tenancy. This,
and then it gets hard.
It's not that it's all right.
I mean, no, but that's right. This is an acceptable risk to them, right? Someone at Riot, a security person at Riot said, hey, this is a real risk. We need to invest in this. It's going to cost us $300,000 a year. And the execs at Riot said, what's the risk?
Do you know that?
Give me, no.
Did somebody say that? My guess is most of the time somebody doesn't say that.
Why not? This happens all the time. This has happened to me in the past. You bring and you do this for one reason. You don't do this to protect the company. You do this to cover your ass. You CYA and you say, I have now given you all the information that this is possible. I've given you a solution to the problem, and you've denied that solution. You've declined my request. So I'm safe. I did everything I could in my power. You didn't hand me the money to implement a system to verify auth. So that's the way I play it out in my head. That's my head canon for how this actually.
There are things that which can prevent that from happening. I mean, like a company culture has a lot to do with that kind of thing that you just described not happening. So if it's toxic inside a company, then you might be afraid to go to your boss. You might just think it's pointless. You might not. But if it's a kind of bro culture, then it might be just like, not even conscious. It's just going along with the pack.
And you've just named all things that are known as past events at Riot Games.
About this Yeah, because there are a lot of companies that don't get attacked who do take these things seriously. I always think it's interesting that, I mean, totally by design, You don't hear about banks getting hacked in these ways because they take security very seriously. They do make that investment.
Legacy, and banks are as legacy as they come. Some banks are running on like fucking Cobalt or something. Like they are as old as they come, and they have still implemented frictionless security. That's crazy. Wait.
No. I'm not holding banks up to be the paragons of security these days.
I don't think that they are paragons of security.
Consistently depressed by how badly they do with phishing. Like how close.
But that's end user. Peter, that's end user security. We're talking about the bank's security itself.
So their self-interest is
of course. But they don't want to get hacked and lose $100 million. There was that one bank, I think, in India where that happened. But they also don't care if the end user gets fucking SIM swapped, right? Because they don't trust their end users to be able to actually use 2FA apps.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's not going to affect the bank if one account gets drained by a scammer.
Right.
Like that's the end user's fault. What other industries do pretty well on average? Like healthcare is terrible. Finance does well.
Healthcare is like 10 years behind.
Manufacturing is not great.
No, manufacturing is not great.
I mean,
I would probably say like
awful.
If we don't count banking as finance, I'd say the financial industry is probably doing really well. Like just because of the regulations they have to abide by.
Yeah, I kind of figured those two were like together.
Like you don't hear about the New York Stock Exchange going down.
Yeah.
Just as an example. But I wanted to wrap up with my prediction for Riot, which is obvious that we will revisit this when user account information gets like they did and in fact pull this. I give it a few weeks, maybe a month.
It's 7 stages of breach. They'll be like, nothing was compromised. Don't worry, it's fine. Hang on, let me go see if I can find them quickly.
So while he's looking that up, like clearly that's what's going to happen. So the prediction should be a timeline. Is if the over under is, let's say 3 weeks, does it happen before that or after that?
Oh, I think after 3 weeks. So first they're going to let this die down a little bit. Then they're going to make a new announcement, maybe a blog post instead of using Twitter. And they're going to say, after we finalize the investigation or whatever, we realized that, 50 million accounts were also compromised. But don't worry, guys. These are encrypted passwords and they're like super duper safe, just like LastPass did.
Okay, so we've got a couple. The first stage breach is denial. Like, we're fine, it's fine, there's nothing to see here, it's all okay. Then there's anger, which is vicious hackers have attached our precious service. Yeah. And I can't believe this has happened to us. And then the next one is bargaining. So that'll be stage 3, which is it was just emails. Just emails and passwords. All right, so emails, passwords, and like 3 customers' credit card numbers. And then it was, Then there's the depression, which is just leave us alone, and then quiet silence. And then occasionally they do get onto stage 5, which is acceptance. We're sorry, this is bad, this is what we're going to do. So I think they're kind of like at the moment between...
We're at 2, heading towards 3.
Yeah, /1. I think 1, 2, because they're sort of denying that there's there's fine, and they're blaming the hackers. But the next one is going to be like what you're saying. Yeah. Something terrible will happen.
New intel has surfaced that actually all the credentials have been compromised.
And it was our CEO who leaked the data.
Right. So not a great track record. That's just what I wanted to bring today. I find it very interesting. I'm going to keep a very close eye on this.
I brought this up as quickly as I could. This is our graphics department on the fly.
On the fly. Wow. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. To be able to put this up. Yeah, they should all be fired.
All right, Mike.
Look, I'm doing the best I can here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see how it goes.
John, you didn't answer my Slack message, but so this is your last chance. I don't know. Yeah.
John likes League of Legends, but
John, you got 2 seconds.
No. Yeah, no.
Okay.
So I don't need to, and all is good. And
are we gonna blue ball our audience again?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And
it's hinting at something, but we're not.
It's going to be something self-promotional, but we're not gonna.
Yeah, I'm not gonna promote myself.
Actually, so let's do something self-promotional. So we sometimes say like and subscribe and follow. We are trying to grow this channel. And we've been doing this now for over a year. maybe approaching 2 years. I don't even know. We've got like over 500 episodes online.
Yeah.
Somebody could figure out how many days are in 2 years. That's beyond me.
It's definitely less than 1,000.
We get feedback from people who say, "Oh my God, I can't believe you know, I thought I was watching a channel with hundreds of thousands of followers, tens of thousands of views." We agree. This is that kind of channel. But people don't find the content. If you're watching, please do it like literally right now.
Yeah.
Click the like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed, leave a comment. These are the things we got. Like, we need to prime the algorithm. So we need you to do these things to help the show grow.
Unless there's someone out there who like works for YouTube that could like flick a switch and, you know, bump
they
up.
can
numbers.
100% take that
too.
It's guaranteed that YouTube has that capability. But in the meantime, if you guys want to help us, if you like our content, share it. Share it with friends. Share it wherever you want, or just as minimal as it is. Even just a like is fine. But the more, the better.
But to be clear, we are asking you to help us game the algorithm. This is not just like and support the show. Help us game the algorithm so that the show can grow. It'll be good for everybody. All right.
Thanks.
And I'm gonna do this all week if I remember. So help us game the algorithm. Like, comment, subscribe. Like, unsubscribe a week from now. I don't care. But help us game the algoritime.
Don't do that. I mean,
that's what we're all about. I mean, you won't. You'll fall in love. It'll be fine. All right.
Yeah.
See you Friday. This is Friday. We'll see you next week.